Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Good morning, soccer fans. You are watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. We're here at Oceanside High School for a Triple-A soccer showdown. It is going to be Syosset, the away team, wearing white, against Oceanside in blue. Oceanside 4-1-1 on the season. Syosset 4-2. It is 71 degrees and sunny here at Oceanside. I'm here with my partner, Brian Donahue, otherwise known as Mr. Instagram. I'm Robert Anderson. Brian, what do we got in store for us today?
Rob, this is one of these games when the schedule comes out in mid-June. You circle the calendar for Oceanside Syosset. These are two of the class programs in Nassau County, two of the class programs in Conference AAA, and this is the game that we've been waiting for all season long. Right now, I'm looking at three keys to the battle. Number one is the midfield. Sean Mahoney of Oceanside and Chase Pendrick of Syosset, two of the better players in the county going head-to-head. Next, it's forwards against center backs. Oceanside's Jackson Langevin against Syosset's Tommy Wiesenfeld and Brody Waxer. And then Syosset's Javi Navarro against Oceanside's Connor Schmidt and Gavin Joyce. And then finally, who's going to contribute off the bench? Who are the role players that are going to step up? I want everyone right now to look for Jeremy Mallon from Syosset and Dylan Langevin for Oceanside. These guys are going to create a great impact off the bench.
And besides the bench, we got the guys on the field. And today's starting lineup brought to you by Lifestyle Sports and Apparel. Lifestyles has locations in Belmore and Wantagh. We want to thank them sponsoring all our games, regular season, playoffs, and beyond. Also contributors to our South Shore Summer League. And Brian, if you can give us the starters first for Oceanside.
For Oceanside, in goal is Colin Schermacher. Across the back, Greg Profitlich, Connor Schmid, Gavin Joyce, and Michael Molidi. In the middle, they're playing a 4-3-3 in the middle. Sean Brasokis, Sean Mahoney, and Matt Keegan. And up top, Zachary Minsky, Jackson Langevin, and Jackson Cherrick.
And then on the other side, we've got Syosset bringing their big fellas.
Syosset's also playing a 4-3-3, shockingly. We got in the back Josh Wiesenfeld, and in the back four, Ethan Reiser, Tommy Reiglowitz, Brody Waxer, and Andrew Zamet. In the midfield, Cole McGuire, Chase Pendrick, and Jake Dappas. And up top, Cesar Ruvio, Javi Navarro, and Xavier X. Poltz.
You heard it all there. Both of these teams battling it out. And as we go through the game, Brian, we're going to talk about what they had going on as far as their playoffs aspirations last year. They both got involved with the same Uniondale team, that different fates for both of them. So that'll play out throughout the games. And again, lots of wonderful sponsors here today making this thing happen. one of which is Frantoni's, a slice of charity. A slice of charity is a nonprofit dedicated to raising funds, toys, and essential resources for a variety of different organizations, ensuring children, veterans, and underserved communities receive the help that they do deserve. You can scan that code up there today to donate to a slice of charity today. They're located in Woodbury, New York. And, Brian, they brought us up a few slices, so I guess we're going to have a little college-style cold pizza at halftime.
I've been eyeballing that box, Rob. I'm waiting for a halftime, bud.
And the game's underway, and the first possession looks like it's going to be Syosset, but Oceanside doing a nice job tempering the ball, and right out of the gate, you can see nice possession, moving the ball around very well. Wind should not be a factor here today. Slight breeze. Old Glory is blowing a little bit there, but I don't think it's going to affect much on the field.
And you got Greg Perfitlich out there, number 18 for Oceanside, getting involved early. He's someone that Coach Turk said he's going to make a great future coach. He's going to get involved early. He has some great link-up play with Sean Mahoney. Everyone should be paying attention to that.
So both teams play in the middle of the field really well, looking to play feet so far. And, again, we'll introduce you to a lot of these gentlemen. When they walked in, I was impressed with the size of that Syosset team. And, Brian, you were telling us about a little yoga and fitness that they're working on.
Yeah, well, I keep talking to Coach Pedicini and Coach Waxer that every time I watch them, I steal something else from them for my own program. And one of the things they do on off days is when they take the guys who played in the game, they do yoga with Coach Pedicini. Coach Waxer takes the guys who didn't play. They do game situations. So they have a really well-oiled machine here in Syosset.
Yeah, it's great for health and training. That ball that got through there, you saw number 13 for Syosset, Javi Navarro giving chase. He's got wheels right there on cue, getting the touch. Navarro is a big target out on the field for Syosset, and he's got wheels, can create distance out of the back. So we'll see if they can get Javi going early.
Yeah, he was on our Nassau Soccer Instagram pages, underclassmen to watch last year as a sophomore. He made our list as players to watch this year as a junior. He's definitely on a short list for Player of the Year in the AAAs.
Indeed, both of these teams have players that can be on that short list. And it's going to now be the Syosset throw. Watching some film on them. They play things straight away. No really big throws.
No, and you see the ball went in there to Javi Navarro, and that's kind of part of what Syosset's game plan is. Everyone keys on Navarro. They triple him, get the ball to him, and let him work it out to the sides to Cesar Rubio and X Pulse and let them work.
And here out of the backfield, Colin Schermacher, the keeper, decides to play it short. And that was played out to Connor Schmid. So we'll see if they do that often in the game. They play it out of the backfield and try to develop something building-wise as opposed to sending the ball deep. And here's the other keeper, Josh Weisenfeld. Weisenfeld, a senior on this team. He's a verbal commit to play lacrosse at LIU. He's been splitting time with the other goalkeeper, Sebastian. We're going to talk about Sebastian a little later, but a split squad, kind of hockey style. Don't see that too often.
And these two teams are so alike. Talking to Coach Turk yesterday, he said one of the reasons why this matchup and all of these boys get up so much for this matchup is the teams are so similar. And even though they started out as a 4-3-3 for both teams, you're going to see them switch formations up as the game changes. And these players are skilled enough and knowledgeable enough about the game where they can drop in and out of things quite easily.
Last year, both of these teams playoff bound, and it was Oceanside losing to Uniondale in the quarterfinals. And when we were speaking earlier, you called a classic with the double overtime, and then in our conversation reminded that it was Uniondale who lost to Syosset in double overtime in the championship game that moved Syosset on to the Long Island Championships, where they eventually lost in overtime to Walt Whitman. So,
Syosset had this great run last year, and here's Navarro putting pressure on again, and they had another classic game with Walt Whitman. I believe that was another overtime game. They were just going at each other for the whole overtime, and Whitman won in a last-minute goal, send them to the States. And talking to Javi Navarro when I saw them play against Freeport, they talked about that loss and how they really wanted to just recover from it and keep going and keep working.
Both of these teams with a chip on their shoulder coming into this season for different reasons.
And all the varsity media fans out there that pay attention to our telecast, you'll remember this game last year when Oceanside won on a last-second goal, 2-2 game, gorgeous game out of both of these teams. So there is a lot of history here between these two teams.
Big throw in there for Oceanside and broken up. And they're going to get a second shot at it right now. And it's Michael Malidi. Again, right into traffic. Syosset there. No pressure by the Oceanside guys. To throw in the box like that, you'd think they would descend upon it a little quicker, but both times getting onto the foot of a Syosset defender and back out the other way.
Yeah, that was Tommy Roglowitz with that clearance. He's so smooth and confident on the ball in the back. You know, when you can have two center backs like Roglowitz and Waxer holding it down for you, it gives you that confidence to now push your left back and your right back up the field, and now you can create more scoring and attacking opportunities.
How about Navarro there trying to get through, but Oceanside, like ants on an apple core, just all over him. You can break two, can't get through three, and they put some pressure on him.
Right, and you notice, Navarro's now dropped over to the sideline. He's someone who usually plays centrally. So here's all this shifting that Syosset's starting to do to try and free up some of their attacking players. Trying to find that mismatch on the field. And Rob, you've been coaching for a long time. I've been coaching for a while, and one of the things we tell our players is find the mismatch and just hit it every time you have the ball. And I think that's what both of these teams are looking for right now.
And you can see that two guys on him right now. It's Lally was one of them, and Sean Bersakis as well. And they're double teaming him with some muscle over there. Short throw. Syosset, so far, really not building much in the offensive zone. They got those opportunities trying to send it down in Navarro, but a good log jam in there by Oceanside. The Sailors clogging things up. That'd be a good time to talk about our officials today. Two of the highly respected guys in Nassau County. On the far side there, we got Kenny Heller. Kenny Heller out of the English Soccer Club. Everybody's mate to him and lads. And then on our side, we got Randy Geyer, to me, one of the most reasonable, honest referees you got out there.
And there's Navarro. A nice bit of skill from Navarro. He really has that. What a great through ball there. He's got that Dimitar Berbatov archetype, right? He just glides around the field, and next thing you know, he puts something together where you're scratching your head wondering where it came from. As opposed to Jackson Langevin on Oceanside, he's got like this power build to him. He just wants to blow through guys like he's doing right now.
He certainly is. There's a shot and a nice save punched out by Weisenfeld.
Right, that was a great turn. Great touch on the ball, nice turn for the shot there, and Weisenfeld with a great save there.
And here we get another look at it, Brian. Just that little chip, and then the outstretched right arm punching it out. It's going to be a corner kick, but early pressure there, and the first real scoring opportunity Oceanside.
And there's not a whole lot of keepers in the county that are going to make that save. I have a feeling that, Weisenfeld's going to send that to me later for our Save of the Season contest on Instagram.
There you go. And a good job by him positioning-wise. We don't talk about it often. We talk about the save. He came out. He didn't get caught in nowhere land and was able to cut that angle off and make that net look a lot smaller than it is. And here's a guy that's looking to try to get something going. Sean Mahoney on the corner. Mahoney sends it in. A lot of movement in the box. Goes deep and once again finds a Syosset player. That was Brody Waxer getting it out.
Right, and there was a little bit of a late run on the back post there from Sean Brasokis. Syosset has a 3 or 4 set pieces that they run, almost like basketball plays down there. That was one of them, and now we're going to have this kick here from Sean Mahoney, who can play a real nice ball in.
Well, hopefully with the movement not directly in front of the keeper, they can get something going. So far with the throws, it's all been Syosset. This time it almost connects there with Sean Bersakis, but just got to touch on it going in the wrong direction.
There was Navarro doing a little defensive work, poking that ball out.
And it's dished back in. A little touch there by Jackson Cherrick, and that one's going to go wide. But here comes Oceanside, putting a little pressure down there.
Yeah, they're finding those angles, and they're getting their body in front of those defenders. And, this Oceanside midfield is playing some real nice balls in there, and they're finding them. So you got to bring that ball down, a little more quality in the final third. And it's, they're knocking on the door. They're going to open it.
And there's that look. It was just some tough touches there by Oceanside, sending that ball wide. Good job on the replay. But they are bringing the pressure and now starting to get a little bit more physical down there. What we expect out of both these teams. And here comes Oceanside. Patrick Lally sends it out in front off the backside of Tommy Brygolowicz. And we got another corner kick.
And here we go.
Now, so far, Brian, as far as like the free possessions from the side, the throw in, the corner kick, they've been directly on Syosset players. What do you want to see?
I want to see some off-the-ball runs. Let that ball run through. Take that touch on the outside.
Well, they got possession in the unconventional way, but again, back to a Syosset foot. They're just having trouble connecting down in that scoring area.
Right now it looks like Gavin Joyce has now dropped in, is playing like this deep sweeper role.
Little tie-up over there. Looks like Sean Mahoney got his hand tied up with the official, I believe, Randy Geyer.
Right, and that's a little unfortunate. And he wasn't getting to that ball either way.
No.
But still, I think, in the heat of the moment, looks like the Oceanside assistant coach is having a little fun at Randy Geyer's behalf.
But again, as what I said about Randy, all smiles. He's like, all right, no problem. I'm not trying to steal his wristband. Navarro gets up on it to touch directly to Matt Keegan. Keegan's going to play it back into Gavin Joyce. Joyce has plenty of field. A little bit on the back there as Minsky touches the ball.
Right, so one of the ways that you can see that Syosset can become vulnerable is playing these balls to the corners. Freeport a couple weeks ago was very effective at that. Just hit them in the corners. They can show some weakness down in the corners. Just start hitting those, and then you can get those balls into the central part of the field. But for Syosset, they have to settle in, get the ball in their foot, and then start generating their offense.
Here's Patrick Lally with the throw, and the game is definitely getting more and more physical as we go. A little bit of a dive over there that Randy Geyer said, I'm not calling that. Keep on playing, boys. You're going to be bumping. Both sides are going to get the courtesy, and I love that about these officials. There's definitely a tone, and it's a physical tone, but it hasn't been illegal. Very handsy. And we've got some substitutions happening, and Dylan Langevin is coming in. And off comes Zach Minsky. Zach Minsky fan club giving him a nice round of applause on the exit. A nifty move there by Sean Mahoney, but right to a Syosset player. Maybe cut down the theatrics and find some blue. It was a good-looking play, but just to the wrong team.
Yep. And these substitutions that Coach Turk just made for Oceanside, when I was speaking the other day, this is one of the reasons why it's a nightmare to scout against Coach Turk, right? He changes his formations all the time. A lot of guys don't have set positions. A couple of guys do, but Dylan Langevin's played up top. He's played defense. They're all over the place, so you really can't get a good read on them a lot of times.
How about Xavier Pultz here trying to do a little work, going 1v1 and getting bumped around there.
And X is going to win the corner there for the Syosset. Now they're the Sabres.
That's what it sounds like. I just heard down on the field, unofficially from a fan, we are the Sabres, and we still appreciate the Braves, but we are the Sabres now.
They might still be workshopping now.
They might. Maybe it's a very brave Sabre. We'll see. But regardless, now Syosset has an opportunity with the free kick here. It's going to be a corner. And you got the good eyes. Who's setting up for that thing? I can't see numbers. Pultz earned it. Ball's put into the box, up in the air. The header, it's going to drop. Second effort on the back corner, and it goes out. Last touch. Oceanside. Syosset's going to get a reset. And this time it's going to be Jake Dappis for sure going down there. Here, Brian, take a look. What do we see?
I see Navarro and Brody Waxer both get huge jumps on that ball. Timing was just a hair off, but Schermacher was out a little bit of quality. They timed their jump a little bit better, and that's a goal for Syosset.
All right, well, here's Dappis getting a second chance. He's going to serve it into the box. Again, straight through, nobody there on the back end. And, Coach, I don't know about you, but one of the things that drives me nuts, which is why over at the Malvern East Rockaway program, we set up a guy out there every time. High school soccer, ball rolls through. I take a small guy, second effort. I put someone at the top and someone outside.
If I had $1 for every time I screened back post at my teams, I'd have my own island at this point.
Well,
it's one of the basic fundamentals that guys have to master. Back post every time.
Drives me nuts. That one's played.
That was a great clear.
I think it was Langevin who got his foot on it, and it was an excellent clear. Syosset looking to recollect themselves and set up, but their first real scoring opportunities off the two corners.
Yeah, and they were a bit of a mosh pit right in there inside the box. You want to try and get a little space and a little separation. You have that ball, especially if you're Oceanside, you have a mosh pit mentality down there like that. That ball bings around like that. It'll go anywhere. So you want to get that cleaned up.
Reiser with the throw. It's going to go off the head of an Oceanside player, and they'll get a second chance. It's a nice way to move on down the field. Reiser, good throw right down the line on the foot of Cole McGuire, I believe. First time we said Cole's name today.
Yeah, Cole's a nice little player. 1 goal, 2 assists on the season. He's a hard worker.
And coming back the other way is Sean Mahoney. Mahoney's really been the one-man show here. He's working real hard. Great service out in front. The header off of Jackson Langevin, and he's shaking his head. He's a little upset with it, but what a service there by Mahoney.
I mean, he is the absolute engine that is driving this Oceanside team. He is the guy who we talked to him before the game. When you think about Oceanside, they're trying to replace, and here we got this drive down the left-hand side of the field. Right, he's gonna make a little turn here, and then he's just gonna send that ball right in. Great ball, good spacing behind. He just couldn't bring it down.
And I love too the checking in by Lally. If you looked, he was checking in from behind, so there were options there. And then when he saw the service, put it in. That's a well organized team. Here comes Syosset taking it deep down to the flag, and see if they can generate something. But Oceanside just absolutely swarming them every single touch. A good touch there to get out in front of Navarro. I believe that's Greg Profilich back there that's been marking up with him. Xavier Poltz now getting double teamed down in the corner. Last time he drew a corner kick. See if he does it again, and I believe he will not. Last touch off Poltz.
And both of these teams are, Rob, we talked a lot about this. Both of these teams are trying to replace just absolute studs. For Oceanside, they're trying to replace the last year's Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and Keeper of the Year. So they had literally 3 of the best players in the county for the AAAs. So they're looking for guys to step up. And for Syosset, it's the same thing. They had a Defensive Player of the Year, an All-State player, and one of the best goalies in the county.
Here's a through ball to Mahoney, and he just chips it. Oh, boy, he wants that one back. Mahoney got that put on his foot. There's nothing. It was as perfect as you get.
It really was. And here he is. We slide that ball off to the side here, and there's Mahoney. His hips were just not on the right angle. He is going to kill. He's going to hate himself in the film room on Monday.
But what a pass by Langevin. I mean, the two of them are finding each other. It was Mahoney who served to Langevin, and he missed the header that he wasn't thrilled about. Now, just an absolutely perfect pass, finding space, staying on side. I mean, that is as good as it gets, except not finished. Here's Langevin again, bullying his way through, trying to get the touch. He's relentless. Finally, boxed out there by Brody Waxer.
And he's looking every bit like the guy he replaced, Franco Vasone, just bullying defensive back lines, just pushing his way through. And, you look at the stats for an Oceanside team. Jackson Langevin with 6 goals to start the season. Sean Mahoney with 6 assists to start the season. I would be willing to bet good money that those assists are all going to Jackson Langevin. They have a great interchange and link-up play.
And what's nice, too, you saw with Langevin, you read the notes that Turk said, and it's a hungry sophomore who's been able to link up with his teammates and create dangerous opportunities. Oh, big improvement. Oh, yeah, I'm reading the wrong Langevin.
Yeah, you know what? They're the brothers, Jackson and Dylan Langevin.
Well, Jackson, though, a savage, big improvement, a true 9 this year. Dylan, the sophomore. So the two of them, tenacious brothers. Like the Hitman Hart and the Hart brothers, Owen and Brett.
But, I think you touched on one of the themes here with a lot of these Nassau County teams is they're all family affairs, and there's a little bit of a hard tackle there from our man Sean Mahoney. We've got the Langevin brothers out there. Coach Waxer's nephew, Brody Waxer, is out there. Chase Pendrick just replaced his brother, right? Jack Pendrick, who was an all-state midfielder.
There's that battle.
Yep.
And the foul.
It's all family affair here in Nassau County.
No, it certainly is, and it says a lot just about our sport in general. That one put out. Nice break up there by Gavin Joyce. And, speaking of Brody Waxer, he's the one that was doing a lot of that physicality down there. He's a Michigan commit for lacrosse. Center back with great size. You saw it. He's able to help box out Langevin, which is not easy to do.
And we got Jay Sebnani just checked in for Syosset.
And how about Sebnani? That's a sophomore. I didn't get that one wrong. He's going to play left back for them. And, said he's a good, tough kid. Good on the ball. Good composure. So let's see how the youngster does on this AAA juggernaut. Nice serve there into it. Once again, finds a blue jersey. I think both teams right now just need to find ways to connect. They're just missing. The other team's taking advantage of winning the 50-50s, breaking up scoring opportunities. Little touch there. I like the press down low by Syosset.
There's a great one, too, down and back.
Good little battle down there as Reigelwitz is battling off with Mahoney, and Mahoney's a handful.
He really is, and and you see this is probably one of the reasons why he's got that captain's armband. Right after that play, he turns around to the crowd, throwing his hands up. Let's go, trying to get this crowd into this game here, get a little support for Oceanside.
Now we are about a quarter of the way through this game, a little bit over, and it's now the third corner kick for Oceanside. Mahoney taking it. It looks like most of the players setting up high, so we could expect runs depending on what they're going, and we'll see if they cover that far post. Right on the keeper.
Yeah, I think that, there's just a little bit of lacking quality on that ball. Maybe a little too much time waiting to take that kick. That's a ball that, has got to be put out further out. You look on these fields when you're watching these games and you see, lines for 17 different sports. You play a corner kick out there like that. You want to put it kind of right in the middle of that red circle, right?
I mean, you see Coach Turk's vision on these. They are just not really executing right now, and the corner kicks have been a little bit of a thorn in the side. That one's put right on the net. So right into the breadbasket of Weisenfeld. And we got a whistle there as referee Heller settles him down. Lads. And Syosset's going to get the free kick.
And there was that double team on Navarro again. It seems to be, the go-to strategy for all these teams that are playing Syosset. Make someone else beat you. And then we got Mahoney somewhat free and clear again.
He's got excellent feet. He's got size. He's a strong kid. Just moving that ball down. No one's really challenging him. But then again, no one checking in around him there. He's on an island and 4 white jerseys around him.
Rob, you stole my words, right? He needs him a little more help, right? He's solo out here on the wing. He's looking to link up with Jackson Langevin. He needs someone behind. He needs someone in the middle of the field. set up that passing triangle, make the defense shift. If he's got nobody, he's going to have 3 guys surrounding him every time.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened on that one. I mean, in the last couple runs, it was Lally, number 18. He's also wearing a captain's band that was checking in behind him on that run. Lally was kind of lingering a little bit, and someone's got to stay behind him if he's going to make those line runs.
Yep, and now Navarro's off the field. Jeremy Mallon, number 17, just checked in. And talking to Coach Waxer before the game and talking to a bunch of coaches around the county, a lot of our teams out here are, we have our starting 11, and we have maybe 2 to 3 guys, maybe 4 if we're lucky, who we can put into the game 15, 20 minutes at a time. Syosset is 18 to 20 guys deep.
Right.
So they have a lot of legs they can put in the game, and Coach Waxer was telling me that he loves to keep using the subs. That way, last 20 minutes of the game, 18 minutes of the game, the starters can go the whole way. Where a lot of times these teams are just running their starters into the ground and they have dead legs at the end of the game. So it's a luxury for Syosset that a lot of teams don't have.
It certainly is a luxury, and that's why they managed to go deep in that playoff run last year. And you know that Coach Waxer took that loss pretty personally because Nassau County sent 3 teams up to the States, 3 eventual winners, and he really wanted to join that crew. And women, just absolutely a sensational game, winning in overtime. But that team felt poised. If Syosset was there, we would have had 4.
And watching those AAA games upstate with you last season, Rob, Syosset could have made a deep run up there as well.
They most certainly. I thought talent-wise they were second to none as far as what would have gone up there. But a tough battle, and they're here now worried about this game, which these two teams have not seen each other too much in the playoffs. That one's sent in, broken up by Syosset. And you mentioned that both coaches told you we can't remember the last time we faced each other in the playoffs. Surprising to you.
Yeah, I mean, they've been both coaching 20-plus years each, and they said, we know we've played each other in the playoffs. We just don't remember when. So that's another reason why that this game is so much more heightened for these boys out here, because they are 2 of the more storied programs in Nassau County soccer.
And both teams very excited to get in touch with the Varsity Media Sports Network to get this thing going. It was Syosset Booster Club. Hey, there's Kenny Hallow. Look at him jumping around like he's 18 years old again. But the Syosset Booster Club and the Oceanside Booster Club doing a great job helping us out here today. And here is the free kick for Syosset. It's Cole McGuire. Cole with a hero versus Uniondale. Sends it in right on net and just sails a little bit high. McGuire putting his hands on his face, but he was looking top corner from out there.
Yeah, and Schermacher read that the whole way. He put a nice move on that ball trying to get to it. It was just high, and I got to tell you, in all the scouting that I've done for all these teams and every game I watch, and I watch a lot of games, I don't know that I've seen any keeper in Nassau County that has the confidence and swagger of Colin Schermacher, right? He commands that box really well. He has a swagger and a poise to him back there where it's just incredible to watch.
I think McGuire there was looking to take advantage of his height, but he got up there and nothing doing. Again, Brian McGuire, that game winner, right? He was the game winner in overtime versus Uniondale. Still my favorite because I'm going to brag. That was my call.
That was a great call, too.
The prediction, the Swami. So maybe Cole's going to do something big here, try to get these zeros off the board. 12 minutes remaining in this first half. We're knotted up at 0. Some scoring opportunities, a little bit more the Oceanside way. Plenty of corner kicks and free kicks.
Gavin Joyce on this restart off the handball.
And he sends it in, and once again a Syosset player gets to it first. Now, let's put you in the coach's hat, Bry. This is your Oyster Bay team, either one of them. Every time they get free opportunities, it seems to just wind up on the opposing team's foot. Fair assessment so far?
Yes.
What do you say to them?
I say to them, we need to push more numbers high, right? And get into those basic passing triangles, right? And start playing, especially for my boys, it's go back to park ball. Play that tiki-taka Brazilian-style soccer of just pass and move, pass and move. That's what I want to do. When you start sending long balls, that's when you start getting into trouble, that dump and chase game, right? You have very little control. And I've said this for years. If you want to be the best player in Nassau County, master the 10-yard pass. Passing it and receiving it. That's all you need to do.
Well, Syosset's thinking maybe we'll go long ball here, and maybe that'll generate something. McGuire getting that touch up to Poltz. Poltz dancing with it quite a bit, getting space, uses the left, but not much on it. But a shot nonetheless, so the long ball gets it down the field, and another scoring opportunity for Syosset. My gut tells me we're looking at two different teams in the second half of this game. I feel like there's some hesitancy and miscommunications and just some sloppiness that's going to get tuned up. What a shot there, and it's going to float high. It's Langevin.
And Oceanside was looking for a foul down there. And, I get the sense just watching, what the camera's not seeing here, seeing all these players off to the side, a little extra mustard on some of these tackles, a little extra shoulder on standing up. It's starting to get a little chippy out here, and I think part of that might be from the frustration of just not being able to punch through, right? Our game is not working. The things that have been working well for us is not happening.
Mahoney settles that one down, but puts it behind Langevin. Good look there. But it's that right there, it was a microcosm of what I feel like we've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Just missing. Like the ideas are there, the opportunities are there, the execution is not.
Right, and both of these teams, they have quite a break after this game, right? Oceanside doesn't play again until the 26th. Syosset doesn't play again until the 27th. So, this is a game where you can let a little bit more go, right? I played 3 games this week. You played a bunch of games this week. You don't have those game, day off. So you have a long stretch. You can let the horses out a little bit more, so to speak, and you can really put your foot on the gas. You don't have to play super conservatively in this one.
You got that Rosh Hashanah break, and we got some time off from work to get healthy and get our teams back on track. Mahoney there with an opportunity, too, just put a little too much, and it was right in the hands of Weisenfeld. And now back the other way. A nice touch through, and on the goalie, it was, who was that, Lally? Am I missing up there? Was it 18?
No, I think that was Dylan Langevin on the back post.
That was Dylan, all right.
Yep. And that's the thing, you're saying, what do you start telling your players? It's start those runs just a little bit earlier.
One just wide. Sorry to jump in front of you there, but it was Jackson Langevin putting that one. That looked like that was going to be the first one on the game there, and they're starting to get things going down there.
Yep.
Oceanside.
They're finding those holes and they're making those runs into space. They're finding those angles to hit.
And another whistle that's going to slow this down, but you're starting to see maybe things are clicking a little bit for Oceanside. The looks are there. The through balls are getting through. They just got to find their targets. And I think it's number 9 that's poised to get in there first if he can for Oceanside. Ball touched out to the sideline. McGuire keeps it in, sends it down into the corner. Good idea, but ran out of room.
And Rob, let's not forget what's also playing into this, too, is Oceanside's coming off a real nice win the other day to Plainview Old Bethpage JFK. And Syosset's coming off of this heartbreaking loss to Port Washington with a last-second PK.
Right.
So, Syosset's got this extra added pressure in a super competitive, top-of-the-table AAA. You don't want to take back-to-back losses.
Yeah, and you mentioned they've got decent schedules in front of them, break, but both teams going into some tough territory as far as competition goes. Look at the jersey pulling there, and that's a nice, easy call against Patrick Lally, trying to rip off the jersey of Meyerowitz.
And Syosset's going to have a play here from a real nice position, a nice attacking angle. You want to float this ball again right into the back of that red circle, hit some guys here on the back post.
It's going to be Cole McGuire over the ball right now. So we'll see if McGuire, who had a decent shot on net, decides to get one of his players. He's going to service that one The header, though, once again, an Oceanside head. And that's going to send it to the corner kick, indicated by referee Geyer.
Right, when you're a team like Syosset and you don't have as many opportunities as Oceanside is having, it is super critical, especially against a keeper as good as Colin Schermacher is. You want to make him move back and forth across his line. Make him move his eyesight, right? Start the ball on one side, get across as quickly as you can, make him move his feet. Super, super important.
And if I'm right, it's going to be Ethan Reiser taking the corner kick. So the left back down deep. They got one man high. Most of the bodies back post. We'll see what kind of run they make. McGuire circling in and out of it. Ball's going to go long and off the head and just wide.
That was Jeremy Mallon with the header there. You see that bleach blonde hair of his on the field, and he's one of those guys who can come off the bench and really make things happen. And here's that ball again. He gets up, he brings it, he gets his head down, and he got the right movement on it, just a little bit outside. And there was that physicality of Langevin again up top.
So a lot of back and forth right now. Scoring opportunities back and forth, but it's a goose egg on the board. Lots of free opportunities, corner kicks, physical game. Everything you'd expect out of a Syosset Oceanside AAA face-off. And you know what else is looming, Brian?
Our halftime pizzas, right?
Yeah, some Frantonis. How about Frantonis? Get a slice. So we'll be telling you about them and their pizza for sure. And again, we want to thank Syosset and Oceanside's booster clubs, broken up there by Galowitz. Both booster clubs making this happen today at Oceanside. And Oceanside getting a little help from Joel Isaacson and Company, the financial and tax planning company. That's www.joelisaacson.com. So some financial planning as well. Got that message this morning, so we want to thank them for helping out the Booster Club. Unable to get the graphic information up there, but we love you, Joel Isaacson and Company.
There was that misplay out of the back, a big volley, and you see Jackson Langevin putting in that yeoman's work, right? Throwing his body in there, throwing a couple extra shoulders. That starts to wear down center backs, right? When you know that pressure's coming and every time that ball's coming, and so is he's going to put a hit on you. It starts to change the way you play defense a little bit.
It certainly does. Could force mistakes, and, my team's all about that high press. I love it.
Especially when you're really only sending one up top, right? It looks like Oceanside has switched to a little bit of a different look here.
Yeah, when you go the one up high, you're going to limit those counterattack opportunities where you press 3, and you got to make sure that you're ready for a counter. That one sent in deep, looking for Javi Navarro. Javi still giving chase, can't get on it. They are all over him. Every time there's a ball to his foot, he has somebody breathing down his neck. That one is going to get through to Langevin. Langevin all by himself, gets it out with his left foot. And it's a save there by Schermacher. Not Weisenfeld, my correction there.
And there was that mistake on that back line, and Jackson Langevin puts himself in a good position, brings it down, and he just can't get that good enough angle on that left foot of his.
But happy that he took the left foot. How many players would not do that? Pull it back, and then by the time you do, the entire defensive team is down there. But Weisenfeld has been getting his work cut out for him today. So we are now at the 1 minute mark. And we'll see if anybody can get on the scoreboard before we get to the commercial. That one is sent in deep. Handled by Oceanside. Second effort there, and it looked like a little bit of a collision, a little bit of a conversation. Maybe Lolly and Meyerowitz.
Yeah, I think Lolly took exception to that big hit. There was a little extra bit on that shoulder there. I don't think he liked or appreciated that big old hit there from Syosset's number 23, Benny Meyerowitz.
And that one is sent long and broken up by Cole McGuire. Little circus seal head bobbing back and forth as we come down to the final seconds. And I think both teams are just going to let this thing settle down. And that is going to end the first half here at Oceanside High School. We are tied up at 0. Don't forget, folks, you're watching all the action here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We're going to take a little bit of a break and then be back with some pizza and some more soccer after this.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Thank you for watching Varsity Media, the leaders in New York high school sports coverage. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
It is OHS, Oceanside High School, the location of today's AAA battle. Gorgeous day. And Brian, what's better on a gorgeous day than a nice, fresh slice of pizza. Even though we got it early in the game, folks. We've got a little Frantoni's pizza. So
let's show them the Frantoni's, Coach.
All right, you're going to take the first bite. Is that how it goes?
Listen, look at that. That's gorgeous. What a gorgeous slice. Let me move the mic out of the way.
I'm going to grab this little loose nugget.
I'm going to tell you something. I like pizza, Rob. That's some really good pizza right there.
What is that, chicken, like a barbecue chicken?
It's like a honey barbecue chicken.
That is delicious. I just took a little nugget. I'm going to let you chew. They brought us these nice big bottles of Poland Spring, Frantoni's. And don't forget that it's a charity slice. So they do make donations based on the slices that they sell. You take a look at it. Slice of Charity, a nonprofit dedicated to raising funds, toys, and essential resources for a variety of organizations, ensuring that children, veterans, and underserved communities receive the help that they do deserve. And that code is up there today to donate to a Slice of Charity located in Woodbury. And I guess it's my turn. I'm going to go with the Grandma Slice, which happens to be one of my go-tos. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a go-to. I am a white slice fan. There's been some debate, but let's take a look there. All right. I'm going for it. Why don't you tell them about your favorite slice while I start to chew?
Listen, I like the olive vodka slices. This honey barbecue is good. And I got to tell you something. I don't know what's better than a great slice of pizza for charity, right? You're getting something, you're giving the charity delicious pizza, and this is probably some of the best pizza I've had. Now that it's really kicking in, right, those flavors are settling in my mouth. It is delicious pizza.
And what I'll say about this slice, and I'm a big Grandma slice fan, lots of cheese on there, grated cheese. So I like the grated cheese. There's oregano on here, so it's got a lot of the flavors of mom sauce for me, personally. So I'm going to take another bite. You want to narrate something else?
Well, now I'm saying, now that I know that this is right down the street from me where I work in Oyster Bay over in Woodbury, I'm going to be here all the time before games. If I can sneak out for lunch, this is absolutely delicious. And, we need a lot more charity in our world today, right? And great job out of these guys for doing that, donating to really good and respectable causes. Excellent work out of them. And, we talk about how halftime is a game of transitions. It's the only time we can. Let's transition into some really good pizza here, Rob.
Absolutely. I love it. And, folks, you also got to keep in mind that we're so charitable. This is not a Syosset home game. They drove this from Woodbury to Oceanside, to the South Shore, just to deliver us a couple slices and, again, a bottle of Poland Spring, which I'm very happy about.
And the pizza held up.
Absolutely delicious. So, folks, we want to thank Frantoni's not only for bringing us lunch. We're both hungry. We were commenting on that. The smells were fantastic. The taste just as good. Stick around. We're going to be bringing you some more soccer shortly as Brian and I finish lunch. You're watching it here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. The kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and the quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email Ben at varsitymedia.net. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athletes' key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. For all the
Oh, the Sailors looking to break on through the wall here, that Syosset wall. We are 0-0, so that O is not just the O for Oceanside, but the scoreboard.
Yep, Oceanside, 26-time AAA champs, 12-time county champs, 4-time Long Island champs. They have to make these halftime adjustments, and the biggest adjustment they have to make, they need to send some more attackers forward, right? You cannot keep leaving Jackson Langevin out on an island by himself. They've been getting lucky with some pressure through the back. He needs a little more help up top.
He certainly does need some help up top. They are working and just not burying the ball, and partly a testament to Syosset's defensive strategy, but also they are just not making things happen.
They're not, and you know, for Syosset, our defending Nassau County champions for Class AAA, they have to shore up this defense, right? They're too porous across the back line. Get that ball up, get it out to the wings, right? We want to see Javi Navarro get freed up a little more, get the ball on his feet, let him make the magic happen.
And they are both hoping for some magic. Will it be the Sabres? I'm going to go with that, just so you know.
That's what we were told.
Or the Sailors. Sailors, Sabres, Syosset. A lot of alliteration going on there. So, Goose Eggs on the board. We are back to action. You can see referee Kenny Heller there. He's setting his clock. He's ready to go.
We saw him dancing at halftime. He's feeling good about this game.
Remarkable, isn't he? Quite the dancer.
He is a true Renaissance man, that Kenny Heller.
You know, I heard that the President Steve Hansman can cut a rug with scissors. Yep. So they're back to action.
And that's that new strategy that you're seeing a lot of teams employ that's kind of filtering its way down to high school soccer, right? A lot of the college teams are doing it. I think PSG started doing it in the pro level. Just take your kickoff, kick it out of bounds deep in the opponent's territory, and then press them high off a deep throw and trying to win the ball back. Some people don't like it. They say you're just giving away a possession. Other people swear by it. And there's a great ball across to Navarro.
Yeah, there's a really nice touch, and here comes Navarro. He's going to pull it back, try to get it back in play, but once again, just a big step defensively there by Oceanside's Gavin Joyce. And he breaks it up, and here we come back the other way, and there's going to be a foul in the middle. Mahoney getting tripped up by that double team.
And that was a great dummy on the ball, but it looked like it was Sean Brasokis to get that ball into Mahoney.
So they're going to play it short. Mahoney and Joyce. Joyce looking to play it back to his keeper.
For all the aunts and grandmas and friends of the families that are out there watching, a dummy on the ball, I'm not calling him a dummy on the ball is when you let that ball just go right by you to the next guy on the line and the next guy waiting.
So what do you call a dummy on the headset?
I call him a Coach Donahue.
Oh, I thought you were going to take the shot.
I would never take the shot at you, Coach.
Here we go back the other way.
You are my Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, Brian. Wax on. All right. Xavier Pultz making some nifty moves. He's going to send it just a little bit too deep there. Broken up again by Oceanside, the theme of the day. And looking for the counter. Nice little pullback move there. And it's going to be sent down the line to Zachary Hinsky. Hinsky was pulled out at one point. He got those early minutes. We'll see how those legs are going. Oh, how do you like Langevin down there? Give him a little shove.
Hey, listen, make your presence known. Make them fear you.
I like it. He's a tough kid. Like, he doesn't just have skill. He's a tough kid. So here's Javi Navarro. And they have not given him much room to do anything, Coach Donahue. They are smothering him.
No, and then when he has the ball in the corner, he tries to send it out. You know, Oceanside is just jumping on all these routes and all these balls. You know, if I'm Coach Waxer, I'm screaming, get to the ball. Don't let it come to you. Take the step and go to the ball.
You got to wonder, too. I mean, look at his body. Even just how he flailed at that last ball, he is getting frustrated. If he gets the ball on his foot, there is no turn involved. They are absolutely all over him. And the frustration starting to be exhibited on the body language. And that one is going to result in a free kick from a tough angle. Oh, am I wrong? I'm wrong. I would have thought Oceanside was getting it, but it'll be Syosset.
Oh, we give a little green card to Mr. Heller there and picking the opponent up. And it was a nice little 50-50, right? Yeah, maybe he might have been a little wrapped up and pulled him down a little bit.
Maybe Santa's real. Okay, so I don't know.
I don't know what Mr. Heller saw down there on that angle from up here.
He's got it.
From up here, it looked kind of clean, but he saw something. You got to trust the officials.
Absolutely, especially the great Kenny Heller.
Like I always tell my players, you know why that was a foul? Because the referee blew his whistle.
So,
that's why.
The old mom and dad excuse, right? Because mom said so. That one sent wide. And how about we talk a little bit about Jake Dappis? We haven't had much to talk about with him so far. They've really limited his touches. But Jake, a senior captain, plays a CDM on this team. Huge part of their run last year. Two-time top 100 Newsday player to watch. He was an all-county player. And he is the guy that they said represents Syosset to the finest in all time. So Jake Dappis in his senior year. The header, that one's going to go deep. A Kung Fu Panda shot there up in the air, and the ball bounces around. Oceanside trying to get that touch and settle it. They finally do. It's Matt Keegan. And they're going to do a couple little triangle passes here. Michael Maletti dishes off.
Right, now you play back to your center back, your deep sweeper. Now get your offense set, and now start working your plays. Start working your offensive set.
That one is put back out to Minsky, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was great defense, and absolutely. And Minsky is right to be pumped up about that. That was textbook perfect defense from him. Now Syosset's going to start going the other way. Let's see what they can cook up here and put together here as they go the other way.
Well, we got players that we said we wanted to watch out there, and it's time to start seeing guys step up, and here's one of them. Javi Navarro just running out of room, nicely played by the defense. But Navarro looks like he's got a little more pep in his step again.
Yeah, once he starts getting his confidence high.
Wow, that shot almost tricked Schermacher. Xavier Pultz.
A rip from X.
And you know what I think that was? It looked like Schermacher might have been leaning to defend against the Javi Navarro shot, not expecting Pultz to put one on net. And now Syosset has seen their best scoring opportunity.
He absolutely was. And right after that, Navarro and Pultz looked at each other. They both put up their hands at each other, kind of like, was that a miscommunication or should we have done that? There's a nice shield and a nice release down there.
Well, if they got interviewed, I hope they'd say that was completely intentional because it was a great look. Schermacher was fooled thinking Navarro, and then Pultz pulled the trigger. Regardless, we're still at 0 with 33 minutes of soccer remaining. And it's going to be a goal kick. Here's a look.
Right, yeah, and he had that angle out on the left, but he decided to let that ball fly, and you know what? That's a great shot out of him and an even better save out of Schermacher.
Yeah, I love it. Nice replay where we got to see the save. The only part that off the screen, folks, it was Navarro making that run that had Schermacher leaning the wrong way, and a thing of beauty. Trying to get that ball served all the way through to Pultz. Nothing doing. Pultz giving chase here now, trying to get in the way. And still trying to find Langevin up there. And Mahoney gets a touch. Mahoney takes it himself, puts it through. Nobody there. A little bit of a heavy touch, thinking maybe Jackson Cherrick. Cherrick, a big part of this offense as well. He's a midfielder, and he transitioned up to striker. And Coach said he is tough to mark. And you see Mahoney was looking for him the entire time. I mean, Mahoney, a captain on this team, and Coach said relentless for 80 minutes, and we've seen it so far.
Yeah, you know what? He's a special player out there, and he's going to be one of those guys that, you know, you want to take your JV player and say, hey, go watch what he does.
How about that move over there? I mean, it looked like Cesar Rubio was trying to, like, strip Sean Brasakis and take his jersey home.
Yeah, listen, there's a little jersey pulling, a little jersey tugging.
I'm just surprised. Like, it looked like he was taking a ride.
Yeah, listen, it's not a foul until it gets called, Coach.
And I think it wasn't called because of the possession.
Right, and referee Heller, he did give them advantage on that play a little bit.
He certainly did. No, it's the right call. Just, I mean, geez. That's when, as a coach, you're like, I'll buy you one. Get off it. This one is sent long. It's going to be played back to Schermacher. Off the head, he can pick it up.
Right, and that's a situation. If you watch that tape back again on that play, you have the Oceanside defense, their backs turned. You know, they're looking up, looking for the ball. If you're Syosset, you got to put a body on them, and you got to make that difficult for them. You can't give them that easy reception down there.
And that one's going to be intentionally kicked out. And we're going to set up a corner kick, and it is going to be Sean Mahoney. Most of the Oceanside players are high. Nobody playing deep. If that ball rolls through all the way, I'm going to lose my mind.
So this looks like one of their set plays. They'll set 2 in the middle, 3 out top, and then they'll switch.
Play it short. That's a good ball. And right through again. Nobody there. Brasakis does give chase, picks it back up, and it's lumped in. Syosset's going to clear. So very methodical Oceanside team they are building. They send that one long, the opposite of what I thought they were going to do. And trying to create those opportunities, broken up again by Syosset, just getting to the balls quicker right now. Navarro setting up in the middle. The battle is going to wind up being a throw-in.
And we got a sub coming in here for Syosset. Number 23, Benny Meyerowitz coming back in. We got Jeremy Mallon off the field. And, you know, Coach, this is the time, you know, about 10, 11 minutes into the second half where you typically would see a nice little lull in the game. You know, you want to see someone try and do something here to kind of put a little spark in both of these teams.
Oh, that one just lofted wide off the throw-in by Subnani. And we'll see. You know, you definitely want to see the pace kick up. It was a very physical first half. You don't want to see these teams napping. They're both still bringing it. But maybe the slowing down and the less physicality might bring more of the technical game. And I feel like that's where we've been a little short. Connecting on those passes. A beautiful ball there, but again, broken up. But now Langevin is going to get it. Langevin going 1v1, 1v2. Broken up by Tommy Reigelwitz. And a very upset Jackson Langevin who's saying, come on, man, I wasn't the last touch. This is my corner.
Yeah, I think frustration setting in for him. You know, you can definitely see it. You know, he's getting his touches. He's just, you know, when you are a player of that caliber and you're just not able to do what it is that you want to do on a field, it's frustrating. And especially against a rival team like this, it's even more frustrating.
And we see that frustration on both sides. This guy, Javi Navarro, saying, I got to break my frustration. He goes 1v1, a nice drop-off pass with the left foot. The shot, it's a goal! The first goal of the game. A beautiful pass by Javi Navarro.
Over to Meyerowitz, it looked like.
Yes, sir. And there's a happy Meyerowitz. He is flexing like the Hulk.
Right, and that's what we talked about at the top of the game, Rob. Get that ball to Navarro. They're going to key in on him, right? There's the double. Slide it across over to Meyerowitz. Take a touch. Find the back post. Textbook.
Beautiful. And what you love about it, too, is just like we had said, you're going to think as a defensive team or even as a goalkeeper that Navarro's going to take it all the way. And the unselfish nature of the superstar to dish it off and find Meyerowitz. A sensational goal there. He waves to the crowd or to somebody, maybe to us.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a great story for Meyerowitz, who was injured in their first tournament, working his way back. He's going to need surgery after the season. Looks like he's playing with a bit of a brace on or something down there. So good for him, picking up that goal. And now it's going to rate. Now that goal will now raise the intensity of everybody up on this field.
Yeah, it certainly will. You're going to see a much different team. And again, tip the hat to the junior Javi Navarro, the striker, also a Newsday Top 100 player. And so easy for a guy like Navarro to just take it himself, but unselfish. And it's 1-0 now in favor of the Syosset Sabres. We haven't got a message that the Sabres is not the name, so we're going to go with that. I can't just call them the Syossets anymore. So now Syosset still trying to bring some pressure, and we'll see if there's any kind of switch. Brian, I'm going to defer to you. Right now it looks pretty much the same. If Coach Turk starts changing the formation around the 15-minute mark, if they don't get one in the back of the net.
I think he will. Talking to him, I told him I saw 4 different formations out of him in 2 different games. He came out as a 4-3-3. He said they've been working on a 4-4-2, which you could see today.
Right.
I've seen them play a 4-2-3-1. But one of the things they're going to have to do is they need to get Jackson Langevin some help up top.
Oh, here he goes. He said, I'm going to try to do it
There
myself.
it is.
Nice through ball. And what a save there. A shot by Jackson Cherrick. But Weisfeld had something else to say about it. He goes, correction. We've got the goalie change now. Sebastian is in. And he gets his first. I mean, that's just insane to me.
That's a huge save from Sebastian Oyaga on the goalie switch, coming out, starting the second half as the keeper. And, Jackson Cherrick made a great run there, and good job on Langevin trying to find him, and he was in on goal. It should have been 1-1 if not for the heroics of Sebastian Oyaga.
How about that, too? I mean, that's our first look of Oyaga. We knew that the switch was happening, and I don't know that we necessarily were looking for it as we were watching things develop on the field. But what a save as he got into the game, and what a shot by Cherrick.
Well, I think that's a testament to that great pizza we had, Rob. We were too enveloped in that pizza. We didn't notice a goalie shift, so great job out of that pizza at halftime.
Good old Frantoni's. Get a slice.
Maybe that's the new ad slogan. Frantoni's pizza is so good it's going to make you miss the substitutes in the soccer game.
As long as you don't miss the goal, we're good. But a nice, Brian, a really nice pass there by Langevin to Cherrick. Almost the same thing we saw on the other side, right? Where the guy that you think would score the goal distributes instead. Except Oyaga was waiting for it.
Right, and it just talks to the similarity of these two teams. They are so alike.
Just to go back to that slice, it was that sweet chili. That was good.
It really is good.
Like, folks, we're not saying this just to say it. That slice was real good. I live on the South Shore, but if I'm ever up in that neck of the woods, Frantoni's Here I Come. Offside called. Jackson Langevin a step ahead. It was a delayed call. And no contest from Langevin, so.
No, he knew. He knew.
Referee Heller getting it right.
Here's one of the things I learned in my many years as coaching, Rob. The referees are always right. They're never wrong.
That's not your wife?
Everyone's always right in my life, Rob. But well, here we go, Mahoney again.
Mahoney.
What a great ball.
Langevin gets held up. Oh, my goodness. And no call. Langevin was going through 1v2. He got slowed down. It could have been some great shielding.
And he is not happy.
Coach, you going to assess this.
What a great ball on that. And, you know what? He's looking for it, but you know what? His arm was wrapped around number 7, Tommy Roglowitz, and I think that's what Kenny Heller saw. He was right there.
Yep.
You know, the Oceanside fans were not happy. Langevin wasn't happy. Coach Turk wasn't happy. But Kenny Heller had that right.
Yes, he did. And there's a shot floats up and over Mahoney. And again, folks, this is why when, you want to be quick to chirp officials. My first instinct was that he got interfered with because of what his positioning was, but the replay shows that he was almost inviting it with the hand back in the wraparound. And referee Heller, a fantastic call in a very difficult time in a 1-0 game.
And a huge result that just came in from around the county. Freeport beating Massapequa 6-2. A young Freeport team, young and hungry. Only 3 seniors on that team, and Massapequa's been playing great this season. That's going to be a huge result. It's going to have some implications for this game as these teams are bunched up in that 4 through 8 situation here for the seeding for come playoff time.
That's an incredible win. Congratulations, Freeport. And we're going to be seeing Coach Matt Burke on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I think that's you and I, Bri, right? We got Massapequa and Uniondale.
Yes, we do. I'm looking forward to that game.
It's going to be great. We're living in the AAAs this year.
Yeah, and what's great about that game is, you got Massapequa's Jeremy Velez and Uniondale's Raymond Zavala, who are 2 guys that are shortlisted for Player of the Year. And, I'd bet my mortgage they're both going to be all-state players. That's going to be a real intense game.
And ironically, again, we spoke about Uniondale already having played a massive role in both the playoffs of these teams. Uniondale taking out Oceanside in the quarters, and then Uniondale just wearing out and battling a Syosset team that eventually won and moved on to the Long Island Championship. That through ball looking for Langevin, can't get through.
But now here we are with 20 minutes left in the game. Oceanside's down 1. They have to stay within themselves, right? They can't press too hard. They can't force things too much. They have to stay within their game. They're getting good service into Langevin, right? It's starting to work. Let's keep putting that pressure on them. Because Syosset's starting to show some cracks here in the back 4.
They certainly are. And now, again, you just hope that they can do something with these corner kicks. Set pieces have not been kind to either team right now. Just hope it doesn't roll through. Anyway, this one's played very short. And the header and rolls through out to the other side, and I believe
another corner kick.
Another corner kick.
Yep, that was a flick from Syosset, a flick from Oceanside. No, flick from Oceanside, flick from Syosset, and now we're here again.
So the indication is going to be another corner opposite side. A lot of movement going on right now down there in Oceanside's side of the ball. Mahoney serves, and that header flies way up and over.
That was a great but nice low-driven ball. Just a bad angle on that jump.
Yeah, it was a good look all around. I believe it was Profilich. Or maybe Matt Keegan was the one getting ahead on the ball.
And another score coming in. Port Washington taking down Plainview Old Bethpage JFK 3-0 today. Port Washington cementing their place at the top of the AAA table.
Yeah, those two teams having their stories written right now. Plainview's having a tough season after a great run last year.
Yeah, they've had a great 5 or 6 years here.
And here comes Syosset pushing numbers. Navarro trips up over the ball. They've got 5 down low. That through ball. Oh, my goodness, a nice effort there. I believe it was McGuire.
Yep, and that's the thing you can't do for Navarro. You cannot give him that kind of space. When you give him that space and that time, he will find guys to make it work. Great through ball, just a little bit late on the run.
That's it. I mean, I don't know if it was intended for Mallon or McGuire, but there were 2 guys in the line of that through ball. And you got to think Syosset wants one in the worst possible way, as it may feel insurmountable the way that they're playing on both ends here. If there is a next goal, it's going to be a doozy regardless. This one sent up, and it's going to stay in play. Gavin Joyce has some time. Syosset giving them the time right now, not really pressuring too much. And Syosset, Oceanside, just playing with it back there, taking their time. Letting that clock tick away. You don't want to come after me? I'll hold it. Finally, a through ball, finding Brasakis. Brasakis sends it up top, just out of the reach. And I think Cherek's going to get called for a handball there.
Yes, he did. But you know what? Sometimes you take 10, 15 seconds to get yourself set up. And, you know, that was a nice ball up the line there. Get yourself set up. Get your offense going. Sometimes you can slow the game down to speed it up.
And that might be exactly what they need to do here. Plenty of time left on the clock, 15 minutes. And here comes Navarro. He busts through. Navarro's going to have a shot. Oh, gets it off the top of the laces, and that thing just sails. He's very frustrated with himself. He created the space but got under the ball, leaning back on it, and it gets almost sent to the parking lot.
I think that might have just hit your car, Coach. But the Oceanside back 4, they were not expecting Navarro to be charging in like that.
I parked in the dirt.
That still hit your car. Yeah, huge construction project going on here in Oceanside. They've got some baseball and softball turf fields being put in behind us here. Big undertaking here from Dr. Phyllis Harrington and the Oceanside staff.
It certainly is. They've got a lot going on today. The marching band and the football team and the girls soccer team. Oceanside was abuzz this morning.
Oh, and there
it is.
There was that construction zone.
Sorry, I was
Great through ball.
Sipping my Frantoni's Poland Spring. And what do we got going on here?
That was a nice through ball to Cherek, a little bit too fast.
What's Heller indicating, though? He's interfering with the goalie, having a conversation there.
Yeah.
Oh, Yaga's chirping. All right, nothing doing. Lots of warnings, that's all.
Teenagers are going to be teenagers sometimes, Coach, especially when you got a heated environment like this.
I was just trying to figure out what it was the official was having an issue with, and then told him get the ball moving. It got moving, and here we are. We got Cesar Rubio checking back in for Syosset, one of those guys that earned his starting role this year. He was a sophomore, and he played as the outside back. And then this year, because of his energy and technical play, he's up there on the left wing.
And Jeremy Mallon checks into the game, too.
And Javi Navarro is going to take a little bit of a seat for now. Coach Waxer's having a pretty stern conversation with him, maybe trying to tell him what he needs out there. He's not going to sit for long, I'm sure.
No, and that's that thing we talked about earlier. You know, the luxury of depth on the team. You can sit him for 5 minutes right now, 6 minutes now, and then put him in for the end of the game, fresh legs.
Well, with 13 on the clock, it is a courageous move nonetheless. We'll see how long he is out there, but he's been one of the few guys that has been involved in scoring plays. He had that breakthrough. We got a stoppage of the clock. Okay. Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like it was an indication of stopping the clock, but then the throw happened immediately thereafter with no whistle. So
we play on.
We play on. Maybe that was the Public Enemy Terminator X sign. That one is sent down deep, and Polt's giving chase. Polt's putting a lot of pressure on right now. I got to give credit there, but a nice turn and keeping it on the field by Gavin Joyce.
Poltz is putting in a lot of work right now.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He wants one pretty badly. I'm impressed with the way Joyce held onto the ball instead of just taking it to the corner and pushing it. He got the turn.
Coach Waxer is, even though he got the foul, he's not happy with that. He was looking for advantage. They were wide open on the wing and attacking. This ball's going to get reshifted to the middle of the field.
You know, I've been in that situation so many times and with officials, and it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't with them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're like, why didn't I get the call? And they'll say advantage. And it seems like you're mad about it when the play gets broken up immediately thereafter. But then when they don't give you advantage and stop it, you go, wow. We're all seers. We can all see into the future. That would have been a scoring play.
Basically, we want every official to give us every single call and every single penalty kick every game.
And every option. You know, do me a favor. Just let me know what it would look like if you blew the whistle or not, and I'll pick.
Yeah, give us a multiple choice for every foul.
You know, speaking of the officials, how about we got a Hall of Famer inductee this year, Mr. Cully.
Tom Cully, one of the best officials I've ever seen on the field. We got a stoppage. We got a little injury on the field.
That's a timeout, so good time to talk about old Cully, huh?
Tom Cully used to come to all of our meetings, and he was a man that when I first started coaching I was afraid of because he came in and he was so wizened, the sage, dropping all this knowledge. And then as I got to know him, he was certainly a great mentor for me, you know, helping me understand the rules of the game and how things worked. You know, certainly well-deserved and certainly well-earned.
And here's a well-earned corner kick. Riser is going to send it in. Back post, a diving. Whoa, how about that little, did you see that?
Yeah, so a little backflip there from Schermacher as one of the Syosset players went flying into the net.
We're going to have a stoppage of the clock there. A little Simone Biles or whatever. I don't know what happened there. That was incredible. Wearing the Wayne Gretzky number, but flipping like Ozzie Smith. And getting a little stretch. And there's Randy Geyer over in the right. So my Cully, let's take a look. Here we go. All right. The shot gets put in. The outreach, collision, rolls into the net. What a...
It looks like from Cobra Kai.
He got a lot. There you go.
The Cobra Kai dojo move right there, getting himself back up. A little spring in his hands, not spring in his step.
A lot of applause there.
Certainly acrobatic from Schermacher.
So Mike Cully was just how he dealt with us. Anytime there was a call you yelled at, he'd always go, you're probably right, I'm wrong. And then he'd just jog away. He'd run away. And what do we got here?
Well, it looked like the Oceanside fans were all looking at Coach Waxer and clapping, so my guess is he just got a yellow card.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Yeah, he does not look happy at all.
So McGuire sends that one deep and out of play.
You got a couple subs coming in. You know, when you think about this Oceanside team, right, and you know, we were just talking about Colin Schermacher. He comes from this long line of great Oceanside keepers. Jacob Rappin, Joe Zwieben, Brian Tirado. Two of those guys were keepers of the year. All three of them are starting keepers on their college teams. It's like next guy up. And I talked to him pregame about whether or not he feels any sort of pressure to continue that tradition. He goes, yeah, not really. He goes, because my mentality is I want to always get better. I like having that, and I want to be the best.
And those guys are gone. You know, they were your mentors, and you're just going to slide in. You're not competing. Tirado, a great mentor for him last year.
Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't think of a better mentor. And even for someone like Jackson Langevin, to have someone like Franco Vasone as your mentor.
Meyerowitz trying to get some space there, doing some bumping. He is the only tally on the board. It was Meyerowitz from Navarro that made it 1-0, and now we are 10 minutes remaining in this game. So the clock is ticking down. 70 in, 10 to go. 1-0 in favor of Syosset.
And we've got Navarro lurking on the sideline here, just licking his chops to get back into this game.
I was just doing a scope of the bench myself. There he is. And we have another stoppage of the clock.
So Mr. Heller is going to have a conversation with our two center mids.
What do you see going on down there?
I think it's just some talking and jawing back and forth. I think it's a little gamesmanship. And he said, boys, just knock it off and play.
And there they both are, smiling about it.
They were probably talking about what they were learning in AP US history, but we want to keep it focused on the game.
A little bit of a misfire there, and Oceanside looking to settle down, but here we've got a little bit of a break. It's going to be Pulse. Pulls back, gets caught up. And some good shielding there by Gavin Joyce.
Great defense out of Oceanside.
And here he comes again. Pulse is like, I want round two. Can't get through everybody. He distributes to Rubio. Joyce gets the touch, kicks it out.
And Joyce is frustrated. He just threw his hands up. He's looking for his help. He's like a man on an island back there right now.
He certainly isn't. We didn't want to kick it out of bounds.
Absolutely not. You don't want to give up a throw like this. Syosset, they worked on these deep throws all last season. We're going to have a nice big throw here coming in. They know what to do on these balls.
Reiser's going to send it in. He's looking Navarro. Navarro gets the header. It looks like it went off. Joyce should be a corner kick, and it is.
Right, you have a big target like Navarro who can do that flick on. I mean, it can be so dangerous. When you're defending pieces like that, it's get the ball down and get it out as fast as possible.
And avoid a foul.
Yeah.
Right on the back. It could be very easy with someone as big as Navarro. And this is going to be Cole McGuire setting up the corner. 8 minutes. It's sent in. Navarro leaping, couldn't get a head on it. And then broken up by that Oceanside backfield. Matt Keegan getting the last touch. Still with possession, Syosset. Ball sent back in. Broken up again nicely. Little kung fu over there.
And Mallon did some really good work to free himself up for the cross. Even better work out of that defense at Oceanside to stop that free header.
Navarro, a couple nice touches, sends it back and floated in. Takes a wonky bounce. Pulse a little push. It's going to go the other way as Keegan gets knocked down.
And I don't hate that foul, Coach. Right? You got that ball floating up in there. The defense doesn't think anyone's charging in it. Take the, go in there, take the foul.
Muck it up.
Absolutely.
And they are just sending it down, seeing what's happened. Not much pressure. And they're going to let Oceanside take their own time.
Yeah, Oceanside really, they've got to get the ball on the other side of the 50. They got to start getting more possession on the other side of the field. Right now the ball's here, keep it here.
This one's going to get through to Langevin. Langevin stops it on a dime. He's got to look, pushes it out to Pulse. And that one's cut on net. Correction, not on Pulse. Look at me looking at the wrong one. I think Lolly the one getting his.
That was Patrick Lolly out there on the wing.
So they are moving the ball, and that was a good scoring opportunity. It was that little extra touch pulling it back by Langevin that slowed things down. And I think that's something you're starting to see on the Syosset side you don't see on the Ocean side is this kind of fluidity with the touch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times balls are led, and the guys are going towards it, where sometimes with Oceanside it feels like the ball stops. They try to pull back, reverse, hits the back of a guy's heel. Nice touch there. Cole McGuire is going to chip it in. Navarro is going to give chase. It's going to be a 1v1. Navarro's got an opportunity, and he's going to dribble through and score, make it look easy. He got through everybody. And it was the one-man show. Once Navarro had Schermacher 1v1, Schermacher got down, tried to get in there, and then the defense just was stymied by him. It was a magic move.
Yeah, he was not scared of that goalie there. He was going for the ball the whole way. Schermacher comes out, tries to get his hands on it, and he just dribbles around, and there's just open netter.
Yeah.
Right, there's the celly.
You got to feel for Joyce on that one. Joyce got in there, tried to break it up, and
you do, but that's one of those bang-bang plays that, if you're at Schermacher, you're kind of out there in no man's land. If you make a harder play on that ball, you're fouling Navarro. That's a penalty kick, right? If you go down even further on the ball and slide, you're risking getting kicked in the face. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like, you said it before, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, that was certainly, you got to tip your hat to the effort. Size mismatch there between Schermacher and Navarro, not even close. And Navarro just saying, I've got size, but I got touch. And here comes Langevin back the other way. Langevin's going to have a shot, but it's going to go off of Galowitz and out of play, and that'll be a corner kick.
And now, if you're Oceanside, you're down 2-0, you just got a corner kick. There are no balls anywhere on this field for these guys to kick. We're watching this clock go down. We're going to be wasting 35 to 45 seconds here before we get a ball in.
Yeah.
If you want to claw back in this game, if I'm Coach Turk, I'm telling the guys that are sitting on the bench, the guys in the pennies, everybody stand around the field with the ball. Let's get these balls in real quick.
And as crazy it is, the only man I'd have back right now is the goalie.
Yes, 100%.
That one's going to bounce in. Syosset's going to get the header on it. Shoulder to shoulders, Langevin. He's got nothing on there. It's going to get out to Navarro. Navarro trying to go 1v1 with Joyce. Joyce once again doing the job. That has been a great battle. Gavin Joyce, tip your hat to him today. He's doing a little bit of everything. And you can see getting frustrated out there because maybe not feeling the support that he should. But Gavin Joyce, a heck of a game.
Right, so I don't know how you set your field up, Coach. I put 10 balls out every game. 2 in each goal, 1 in the middle, 2 on the other side, and I put a bunch at the table. I don't want any issues with trying to find balls at the end of a game. Right now, I see 1 ball at the other net and a ball in play. There's no balls anywhere else on the field. So for your Oceanside, I'm staring at 2 bags full of balls. Get some balls on this field. We've got to get these balls in a lot faster than this.
Yeah, you're the home team. You got guys on the bench. Just scatter them all around.
Because this is now to take a line from The Bear, the great TV show The Bear, every second counts right now. Right, because now the anxiety is going to rise. You're going to start seeing guys press. Now you want to really start forcing guys into mistakes. There's a ball boy. He was hiding.
Yeah, there. He just, I think he's been there. He's just chasing all by himself. There's not enough soccer balls for him. That one's dropped back into play. A couple of tough touches there, and then the clear. Haven't said Mahoney's name much, so Syosset doing a good job with him.
That's a great ball.
He's got the shot, and it's going to go off the hands and then the pipe. Oyaga getting the fingertips on it.
Lally slotting that to the outside. What a great vision from him to slide that out. Everybody up.
No time. That ball served. It's in. And the header just goes wide. They are putting the pressure on, wasting no time, Coach.
Oceanside now is certainly getting their shots. And now if you are Syosset, there's the replay. No, that was a great ball in. If you're Syosset, now you start to slow play this. Right? You take your time on the kicks. And just for everyone watching at home, just remember one of the rules is when Syosset goes to sub, the clock is going to stop. So now you're not using any more subs. You want to get out of this game.
Yeah, you go subless and try to work the ball to the flags.
That rule was instituted a number of years ago to prevent time wasting. When the team who's in the lead subs under 5 minutes, the clock stops.
And it looks like The clock did not run on the reset, and they're going to try to figure it out up here. Coach Waxer looking up, waiting for, I guess they just let it run. Coach Heller, the official let it run? I don't know. They keep indicating stoppages, but no restarts.
Right.
It's like 3 times today.
No, he's calling a handball. It's going to be Oceanside's ball. Just get that ball and start the restart.
And they're going to work back to Joyce. Minute 56 left on the clock. And you can see Syosset's packing it in on the defensive side of it, not giving any room. It's a wall down there. And they keep getting to the ball. They are winning every single one of those. They are running through and saying to Oceanside, if you're going to wait, we're just going to take it.
Now watch how slow this throw-in goes down here right now, because they are just winning everything.
Well, you got to tip your hat to the way Oceanside did not give up. They continued their pursuit the entire game. Getting that second goal was just, made it seem insurmountable at that point. And up top for Oceanside, it's been Langevin. Mahoney really got bottled up in the second half. And they look like a completely different team. And there's the throw. Oceanside taking their time on it. First touch again, Syosset. And here's Cole McGuire. He's going to boot it out. He's going to find Navarro. Navarro with a little bit of a heavy touch, but then turns. Going in circles, distributes, and this one should just get dumped down by Pultz. He turns back. So a little touch and turn, touch and turn.
And now it's going to be a Syosset kick.
Yeah, that was drawing the frustration foul. And we've got 20 seconds on the clock. This thing is just going to probably tick down. And it's going to be Syosset taking the 2-0 victory here at Oceanside in the AAAs. Oceanside now getting their second loss of the season. And Syosset picking up their 5th win. And there it is. And Syosset wins.
And Syosset and Oceanside will flip-flop in the standings. Syosset will jump to number 4. Oceanside will be number 5 right now. Another one in the books for the Syosset-Oceanside rivalry, Coach.
And you got to give, the player of the game, you can go a whole bunch of different ways. I'm going to probably have to say that I'm going to give it to Ole Meyerowitz for breaking this thing wide open. You had guys out there that was studs, and Navarro right there. Navarro with an assist and a goal today, and that goal, the nail in the coffin. Oceanside battled. They just were not winning the ball. Set pieces were not working out for them. Corner kicks flying, just nothing settled down for them today. And you could bet Coach Turk, one of the best in the business, is going to go back and look at this and find the things where it's like, we can do this. We're just not executing and finishing. And for Syosset, picking up some momentum. So, Mr. Instagram, your final thoughts before you head to the other job.
Final thoughts. Listen, great effort out of both teams. I was really impressed with what I saw out of Jackson Langevin, getting that pressure through the Syosset back line. Great job by the Syosset to keep their composure. Reiglowitz and Waxer looked great back there on the back line. Excellent job out of the two-headed monster, Weisenfeld and Oyaga. You want to hear some more of my thoughts? Tune in Sunday night to the Nassau Soccer Show on Nassau Soccer Instagram Live.
There you go. You heard it, folks. And again, we want to thank Frantoni's for hooking us up with the pizza. That QR code is still up in the corner. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here today as Syosset has defeated Oceanside by a score of 2-0. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Miss Becca Kazaks, on the camera today, Peyton Brophy, and the great Kevin Catalanato. For my partner, Brian Donahue, Mr. Instagram, I'm Rob Anderson. Thanks for joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll be back with more soccer next week.